I thought it would be a good idea to get out another 7-round Dallas Cowboys mock draft before the 2019 NFL Scouting Combine kicks off next week. Not only will the Combine shake up a lot of people's big boards and draft rankings, but it will also be the first opportunity a lot of us will get to see some of these players firsthand. For this Cowboys mock draft, I used Matt Miller's big board on fanspeak.com. I don't necessarily agree with where he has some of these players ranked right now, but that's part of the fun of doing these kind of exercises. With that said, he is still one of my favorite draft analysts. Without further ado, here is my pre-combine 7-round Dallas Cowboys mock draft. Take Jace Sternberger, Texas A. I don't think he will make it out of the second round and may not even be available for the Dallas Cowboys when they are on the clock with the 58th overall pick. But if he is, I'm writing his name down on the draft card and not looking back. The Cowboys have made it pretty clear they want to upgrade their tape position, but in order to do that they're going to have to draft one pretty early in my opinion. Sternberger may be a one-year wonder at Texas A. He would change the dynamic of this whole offense. At 6 feet 4 inches, 250 pounds, Sternberger has the size the Cowboys look for in their starting tight ends. His biggest asset right now is his natural receiving ability and how dangerous he is after the catch. He runs and moves like a big receiver. He's decent as an inline blocker as well, but it's an area of his game that is still improving. OT, Bobby Evans, Oklahoma, 3rd round, *89th on Matt Miller's big board. Oklahoma OT Bobby Evans. It's a little surprising it hasn't been brought up more this offseason, but with Tyron Smith's continued back problems and La'el Collins entering a contract year, the Dallas Cowboys could be looking into drafting another offensive tackle. I know it may be an unpopular pick in the 3rd round, but I couldn't pass up on Bobby Evans. At 6 feet 5 inches, 300 pounds, Bobby Evans has the prototypical size teams look for in their starting offensive tackles. He is a smooth, athletically gifted lineman who does his best work in the running game. He projects best in his own blocking scheme where he can use his athleticism to his advantage. He will struggle a little bit in pass protection until he cleans up his hand technique. With the Cowboys, he could compete with La'el Collins for the starting RT position as a rookie, but at the worst be the team's swing tackle in 2019. Since he has the ability to play either tackle position, he would make a good insurance policy if Tyron Smith has to miss time again because of his back issues. Again, it may be an unpopular pick but a necessary one. OLB, Christian Miller, Alabama, 4th round, *161st on Matt Miller's big board. Alabama OLB Christian Miller. With the Dallas Cowboys needing more depth at linebacker and defensive end, I decided to select Christian Miller with their first 4th round draft pick. He unfortunately hasn't been able to showcase his skill set on a regular basis due to being buried on the depth chart at Alabama and some unfortunate injuries, but he has immense potential. I think a lot of teams will look to draft him as outside linebacker in a 3-4 defense, but I really like the variety of roles he could play in the Cowboys' 4-3 defensive scheme. I think he could replace Damian Wilson as their strong side linebacker, provide depth at defensive end, and be a special teams demon as a rookie. The Cowboys of course will have to be comfortable with his injury history, but in the 4th round I don't think that would be a problem. If he can stay healthy, he has Pro Bowl potential as a pass rusher because of his size, 6 feet 4 inches, 247, athleticism and fluidity to bend and torque his body. This might be my favorite pick in this Cowboys mock draft. DT, Dalen Mack, Texas A. They currently just have Antoine Woods and Maliek Collins on the DT depth chart, unless you want to count Tyrone Crawford. That's why I returned to Texas A. Dalen Mack is a former 5-star recruit who never really lived up to his billing at Texas A. Don't let that fool you though, he has the talent to earn a starting job with the Cowboys as a rookie at either the 1 or 3 technique. He is the kind of prospect Rod Marinelli would love to work with. At 6 feet 1 inch, 327 pounds, Mac would provide some much-needed beef to the Cowboys' defensive front. He has surprising athletic ability for his size and has a devastating first step to be the kind of disruptive DT Marinelli prefers along his DL. I really love his violent hands and raw athletic ability, and I believe he could be an absolute steal in the 4th round even though Matt Miller has him ranked much lower. WR Jalen Hurd, Baylor, 5th round, * 159th on Matt Miller's big board. Baylor WR Jalen Hurd. Outside of Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup, the wide receiver position in Dallas is pretty dreadful. There are some young WRs who show some promise, but they still need more depth regardless. That's why I decided to take Jalen Hurd in the 5th round in this Cowboys mock draft. He is one of the more intriguing prospects in the entire 2019 draft class. The most intriguing aspect of Hurd's game is his background as a running back. He was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school and was once considered a top RB prospect during his time in Tennessee before deciding to transfer to Baylor in order to switch to wide receiver. At 6 feet 4 inches, 227 pounds, he has the prototypical size teams look for in a WR prospect. He reminds me a little bit of Cordero Patterson, but is much more natural catching the ball. His route running is a little raw, but he has the ability to play in the slot or on the outside, something he did at Baylor. I think he could help replace some of Cole Beasley's lost production. RB, Bruce Anderson, North Dakota State, 7th round, * 206th on Matt Miller's big board. North Dakota State RB Bruce Anderson. I reached a little bit with this pick, but if Bruce Anderson is available this late in the draft, I would do everything within my power to bring him aboard if I was the Dallas Cowboys. I really think he could be the lightning to Ezekiel Elliott's thunder in the Cowboys' backfield. I personally have him in the 3rd, 5th round range, but can understand why he's ranked so low on Miller's big board right now. Unfortunately, the draft process hasn't been very kind to Bruce Anderson so far. He was originally expected to open a lot of eyes in Mobile at this year's Senior Bowl, but unfortunately sustained an injury that kept him from competing. To make matters worse, he was a surprise snub at the scouting combine, meaning he only has private workouts and his pro day, to impress scouts. I for one am a big fan of Anderson's though. I believe he is exactly the kind of RB the Cowboys need behind Zeke. I personally see a poor man's Alvin Kamara when I watched his game film because of the different ways he can be utilized as both a runner and receiver. But he can also contribute on special teams as a return specialist. How do you feel about this 7th round Dallas Cowboys mock draft?